Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. Today I thought I would take a look at the Defenders Omnibus Volume 1 brought to us by Marvel Comics. The Defenders was a very early 1970s super team that was created as basically a non-team. It was several different members, but consistently was Doctor Strange, Valkyrie, Submariner, the Incredible Hulk, and the Silver Surfer. But they were a non-team because they, unlike the Avengers, they didn't have a headquarters or a mansion. They didn't group up together and have a home base, if you will. They came together when the need arose, and when the threat was vanquished, they separated. So it was basically the non-team team of Marvel Comics. And I thought it was quite enjoyable. This was a little before my time. I didn't get into Defenders until my teenage years, and I had to kind of do a little bit of catch up because when they first came out, I was very young. I was just a small child, so I missed out on their early adventures. But Marvel Comics has collected some of their early adventures in this first volume of an omnibus. Here's the cover. There's the spine. And here's the issues it contains. It collects Doctor Strange 183, the Submariner 22, and 34 and 35, the Incredible Hulk 126, Marvel Feature 1 through 3, the Defenders 1 through 19, Giant Size Defenders 1 through 2, the Avengers 116, and material from the Avengers 115. So there's quite a bit there. It retailed for about $100 when it came out. It is now out of print. Not too difficult to find. I found that it was available. It's not too pricey. You can pick it up. It's gonna cost you more than the retail price, but I don't think it's a whole lot more than what retail price is. So if you like the Defenders, it might be worth it. This is, they don't really have any art on the inside of the cover. It's just the Defenders logo. There was a lot of creative folks that were involved with the Defenders. You've got Roy Thomas, Steve Englehart, Len Wein. You've got Sal Buscema, Ross Andrew, Gene Colan. There's a lot of famous people who did work on these issues. It starts off in November of 1969 with Doctor Strange and ends in January of 1975 with the Defenders 19. So yeah, for me, I was just too young. Starts off with a essay by Roy Thomas from 2008. And we start off with Doctor Strange 183 because Doctor Strange does a team up. Submariner joins him. And from what Ross was saying, some of these team-ups, and they got the Hulk in there as well, and Silver Surfer, apparently it was quite popular. So here you go in Submariner, you've got it's issue 35, you've got the Hulk, Submariner, and the Silver Surfer. These team-ups proved popular, and so it was decided by the powers that be to create a comic issue for him. Well, that's issue number 2. Let's see if we can find issue number 1. Here we go. It was Marvel Feature Comics, issue number 1, and this was the first time the Defenders appeared together, and you had Doctor Strange, you had Submariner, and you had the Hulk, and it's the origin of the Defenders. So they published a comic and thought they would experiment and see how popular it would be if they created this group called the Defenders. Would people be interested? And they were. They were so popular that here we have this key issue. This is the Defenders number 1 from August, I think it was 72. I actually had this in my collection at one point, a long time ago. I seem to remember having it in my long box. They weren't graded back then. They didn't grade comics, so I don't know what grade it would have been. But it was in pretty good shape. I think I got it pretty cheap, too. The Defenders wasn't in high demand at that time, so I don't remember paying a lot for it. Valkyrie from Thor joined them. There's the Enchantress. Steve Englehart did an essay too here as well, right? A couple essays. Hawkeye makes an appearance in this issue, number 7. Now, they did a Defenders TV series on Netflix, but it wasn't these characters. It was Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Iron Fist, and Luke Cage. So it was Defenders in name only, but in a sense they were also a non-team because they didn't have a base or anything. They just teamed up to fight the threat and separated once it was all over. I actually liked the Defenders TV show, even though it wasn't this. I wished it was, but it wasn't. To me, it was like Daredevil season 2.5. So I got a kick out of it. But it would have been nice to have had a Defenders show, but I guess that probably would have cost oh, I they've got the main characters, Hulk and Doctor Strange and Submariner and Valkyrie and the Silver Surfer. We'd never see that on TV. I had hopes that maybe one day we'd see a movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe of the Defenders, but the way things are going with the MCU nowadays, I just don't see that happening, unfortunately. And it's a shame because Marvel has got decades and thousands of stories from thousands of issues at their disposal. They could have based movies off of these things and really made a go of it. It would have been like, I can't think of the word now, but it would have been pretty cool. It would have been like issues released to the movie theater. Page quality is really good. It's a nice, smooth paper stock. Very much reminds me of Marvel Masterworks. In fact, it probably was Marvel Masterworks. I think Marvel Masterworks has got Defender's title in their collection of Marvel Masterworks books. Magneto makes an appearance in this issue. So does Luke Cage in this one. So there were times that the team wasn't always consistent, but I mean, it was mostly consistent, but they would have guest stars and other heroes show up. And here's the wrecking crew they were fighting. But I think the core group of the Hulk and Doctor Strange and Submariner pretty much remained the same. There are some extras here. Here's a Marvel bullpen bulletin talking about the debut of the Defenders. Here are some house ads. Some more house ads from 1973 and 1974. Got some original artwork. So yeah, a little bit of extras there for you. I see this little dot. This is a remainder mark, and when they have these remainder books, they sell them at a discount. So if you can find a remainder book, you can get these pretty cheap. I was fortunate enough to find this one, so I didn't pay a lot of money for it. But I think it's worth picking up, especially if you're a Doctor Strange fan or a Hulk fan, or you like Silver Surfer or Namor the Submariner. It's interesting that they team them all up together. It's an unusual thing that they do. So yeah, if you haven't given it a try, give it a try, and I think you'll like it. So thank you for joining me and sharing your time with me, and I'll see you again real soon. Bye.